Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the current top of the tree, and that is the double barrel tanks that I featured on the Tech Tree Showcase yesterday, and how after playing the ST-II quite a lot, I would thoroughly recommend that you do not sell this tank. This is the IS-3-II. I'm going to be playing it today on my free-to-play account live and letting you know exactly what my experiences are of the ST-II, even though I really tried as hard as I could with the vehicle yesterday, and how, frankly, I just really want to drop back down to tier 9 and give it a go with this tank. So the ST-II, it's special because it has a double barrel gun, and because, I guess, when you fire off both barrels at the same time, you can do 880 damage with a single salvo to your opponents. But really, what I'm realizing is that you have to sacrifice so much on that tank compared to all of the other heavy vehicles at tier 10 just to be able to get the benefit of having that double tap, or alternatively to be able to load up 2 shells and then choose to fire them one by one at your opponents. And all in all, it's just absolutely horrendous how much better a vehicle like the IS-4 is with regards to its armor, or how much better a whole variety of other tier 10 heavy tanks are with regards to their mobility. And the sacrifices that you have to make just to be able to gain that alpha damage punch doesn't feel right. However, the IS-3-II on the other hand, you don't really have to sacrifice anything to be able to gain the double barrel gun on this tank. In fact, I would go as far as to say that this vehicle has probably some of the best frontal hull armor on any tier 9 vehicle, and if you use the 8 degrees of gun depression that this vehicle has, well then that gets even more delicious. Alright, so we've got to be a little bit careful here as we decide to waltz our way into position. As we can see, there are vehicles that are above us. Will we be able to hit this Borask? Not quite. So the IS-3-II, with its 8 degrees and still able to pack 390 alpha damage, just feels like the sweet spot for me at least with the double barrel tanks. It's fast enough to be able to get into position. It's actually slightly faster than the ST-II is, and well, that's a good start for this video. Yeah, accuracy, being able to snipe a Foshbee's weak point from an angle like that, I'm not going to complain. Alright, Erlenberg is always one of those maps where this is like literally a nightmare scenario for this vehicle, because the enemies want to get above you, and it's just really hard to be able to win either of the flanks. And if they manage to get a decent vehicle like the 705 into a position like that, it's actually incredibly tricky to be able to hold this position effectively. And unfortunately, look, there's another tier 9 tank that's already been vanquished. If the enemies had decided to progress across to this position here, which is incredibly powerful, we would be in a huge world of hurt. And oh dear, I don't have my repair kit, so I'm actually going to use my med kit. I'm going to start to prepare a double, and oh, that's not ideal. No, this Progetto is shooting me, but hopefully I can actually wedge my arm around like this, and this should be actually an incredibly challenging target for him to be able to hit. And as you can see, it didn't quite work out for him. At this kind of an angle, I guess he kind of has to hit my upper hull armor, but my upper hull armor will be enough to be able to handle him at least most of the time. Alright, this is just a literal disaster because we've got people just chilling at the back of the map, and I'm really not happy about this. But one thing that maybe what I can do is I can prepare for El Double! There we go, I got him! Alright, now I can turn my vehicle around over here again and bounce the Foch. Oh my lord. If I manage to get through this, this is going to be a miracle. This is going to be a Christmas miracle, YouTube. An absolute Christmas miracle. Why does my team not just go and kill that player? Luckily for me, I'm able to just hold back this Foch. Looks like the Progetto's right in front of me. He's hiding behind a bush, so I'm unable to be able to get him. I'm going to mark out the map as to where he is, and luckily my team managed to kill the WZ-111. Alright, well, Conqueror, are you going to get stuck into this game, or are you just going to sit at the back of the map and be a Conqueror? I guess that's what his plan is. I wonder if this guy realizes that I do have a double barrel gun. It looks like I got him to bounce off me. I don't really want to fire. I'm going to fire early. Luckily for me, my team starts to actually punish the Progetto, who's just sitting more or less in the open. And I think you're all starting to see just how resilient this tank is. If only my artillery had got cleaner hits there. But yes, the resilience of this vehicle is just absolutely incredible. This Love is trying to go after my armor. Can you believe I blocked 2,600 damage by just chilling in this position? I'm worried about the Conqueror gun carriage. I don't want to go any further back. I think in this scenario, I really just need to hold on, and I need to just stay alive. And look, the ST-II probably could have done this as well. But here's the thing. The ST-II isn't at tier 9. And there we go. Sod off. There we go. Go away, Mr. Progetto. Come on, RT. Come on, RT. Get him for me, please. Get him for me, please. Oh no, I don't mean the arty to get me, please. Oh, SPGs. There. Why is my team all just in the middle of the map and just camping right now? This is totally tragic. But yeah, tier for tier. Look, this vehicle gets to play against tier 9s. Oh, that's incredibly weird. What a weird position that is. Whoa, bit of lag there. The server lag was not good. Oh, the Progetto's coming after me again. Yay, you've loaded gold. Is that really going to help you? Oh, please, somebody punish him. Well, actually, it is going to help him. Actually, why did that sound like that was gold hitting my tank, even though it wasn't gold? That seemed a bit bugged. Did anyone else think that sounded like heat rounds hitting my vehicle, even though it's saying that it was actually APCR when we take a look up? Is that some kind of new bug? That's bizarre. I swear that was heat. Guess I'm going absolutely wild, getting crazy. I've got the shell shock of everyone just sitting in this position. I've got that Captain Lerver just sitting in that tunnel there. I'm 99% sure the artillery is going to kill me at a moment's notice. But luckily for me, the enemy artillery... Whoa, but luckily for me, the Progetto is kind of chilled. Can I escape this? I think I can. You know what? I think this is my best bet because I am 99% sure that an artillery shell is going to land there. This is a bit weird to do this, just slowly reversing through a river, but okay, I'll take it. Don't want to get spotted by the Progetto. Now let's talk about equipment choices for the IS-3-II. That's something I want to highlight, that on this tank you'll actually see me using a rotation device and also using a vertical stabilizer because they stack. And you can double stack them to be able to get 30% reduced dispersion. If you're using bounty equipment, you can actually double stack them to get 40% reduced dispersion, which I can tell you is massively powerful. And if you were willing to use a bond vertical stabilizer as well, I guess you could get up to about, goodness gracious, 42.5% reduced dispersion, which would allow you to snapshot like an absolute boss. That's very useful for double-barreled tanks, because quite often with a double-barreled tank you want to be able to turn your gun and be able to snapshot your opponents while you're preparing the double shot, so you can be a little bit more dynamic. However, he says, I actually would probably recommend people use just a rotation device on this vehicle, maybe not even use the vertical stabilizer, and instead focus up on using maybe coated optics so you can actually have decent view range, because the view range can be very, very nice on a vehicle like this. I kind of want to help my friends here, but I don't want to get caught out. I'm thinking the IS-4 might push. If he pushes, maybe I can manage to get a bit of a clutch shot here. I want him to come around the corner, so I can now fully commit and right into his backside. Unfortunately, only one shell pens, but I actually locked him in place. I timed that perfectly as I came around the corner, but I'm very worried about this artillery and this G-Saw managing to get us. Luckily, the IS-4 took a bit more splashing. Hopefully this artillery isn't going to splash us around the corner. Talking about splashing, I'm actually going to get away because I'm so sure he's going to try and splash me there. But the IS-4 is now kind of locked down by our STB-1. I'm really worried about the enemy artillery focused up on me here. But can I get this IS-4 as I go around the corner? Possibly. Maybe. Where will he try and run? Will he try and go towards the STB-1? Looks like he will. I'm just going to fire singles. Why not? My STB-1 will get the shot in, and we've secured our first kill of the game. This is decent enough. I'm happy with this. Don't want to die to the arty, though. There's the G-Saw on my left. Come on, baby. I want to have a little bit more extra damage at the end of the game. Doesn't look like I'm going to get that, though. I'll tell you what I would love is to go and say hello to that artillery who has been practically just harassing me I would say the entire game, but it was really the Progetto harassed me the entire game. And what you've seen here is just how influential a tier 9 heavy tank can be when its statistics are just so darn impressive. They're incredibly impressive statistics, and tier for tier, this vehicle is just so much better than an ST2. Oh my gosh, can I get out on the other side? That'll be embarrassing to drown myself in this fairly... Well, it's not close anymore. The artillery are going to die. Good. That's right. Thank goodness that Conqueror gun carriage had actually relocated there, because if he was still in that position, he would have definitely been able to have claimed my soul. But yeah, the IS-3-II, basically, it's a very, very strong tier 9 heavy tank when you compare it to something else. I mean, statistically, do you think a T10 could have bounced 3,000 damage from the Progetto there? Probably not. But this thing definitely has lower alpha damage than the T10, but there aren't any other tier 9 heavy tanks that can really start to hit for 750 like vehicles like the 60 TP can. So all in all, I'm happy with that result. We finished 3rd and we finished 4th on damage. Great game. Very happy. Now let's plow into another one, and hopefully we'll get ourselves into a better matchup where we can be a little bit more aggressive. Oh, looks like we're dealing with fun matchmaking today, ladies and gents, and that's because we've got more tier 10 tanks, more self-propelled guns. Oh, not really many opportunities to be aggressive and really to take the fight to the enemy team. This vehicle can meet tier 7 tanks. Yeah, what do you think when a vehicle like this meets tier 7 tanks? It's pretty ugly. And that's how, at least on my main account, when I wasn't playing this thing stock and I had a fully decked out crew, which this thing really loves, by the way. If you have a great crew and you pump up the view range and you lower the dispersion even more with things like snapshot and also maybe smooth ride on your driver, then this thing can become just an absolute monster. But I'm able to pack 70% wins in this vehicle solo at tier 9 on my main account, and that's over 100 or so games. On my free-to-play account, I've definitely been struggling a lot more as I've been playing this thing stock. One word of advice as well, for everyone out there, because this is top of the tree who is planning to get this vehicle, do not get the top gun that's at the top of the module list. If I remember, I'll show you after this. But I can tell you, when you start with the tank, you have this 100mm gun that you had from the tier 8. And then Wargaming kind of offers you, well, you can skip the turret and go and get this 122mm at the top. And it would be an absolutely awful idea to do that, because by far the best gun on this tank is the gun that comes after the turret, after you've managed to get the turret upgraded. And you'd be an absolute silly sausage to waste all of that lovely experience that you could spend on actually upgrading the vehicle. Oh no. All of the experience that you could spend on upgrading the vehicle on just a gun which frankly isn't even really that much better than the stock gun on this vehicle. This tank stock isn't the most fun thing you'll ever do in your life, but it's not exactly the worst thing you'll ever do in your life as well. So a bit of a misplay there by me, and very aggressive and also good play by the enemy team to be able to take that position. Accordingly, the 50Bs are going to be under a lot of pressure, and you know what, World of Tanks, I always get annoyed when I see platoons of 50B versus an E100 and IS-7. How are 50Bs able to fight against real heavy tanks, right? I guess those guys are playing a fun platoon. Talking about a fun platoon, this is going to be a fairly tricky situation. That IS-7 is actually in a platoon with the STB-1, so it's quite interesting for me that he has separated. I'm going to try and bounce this guy here off with my turret. Come on then, fire. Fire so I can get you. Come on. He doesn't want to, so what I'm going to do is just go hold down here, and then I'm going to go bloop. And I'm going to pull back a little bit. And then we're going to bloop him again. I'm not going to load gold, even though I should do, really, as this is my free-to-play account, and it kind of defeats the point of having a free-to-play account, right? Oh, come on, overturn your tank. Overturn your tank. Fine, I'll just take your hit points then. So, really good stuff. Look at this. A tier 9 heavy tank removing 1,100 damage from a tier 10 heavy tank, albeit because they were caught out of position. They should have never have really pushed around there unless they were willing to commit. But to be fair, if they had committed, they would have probably got wrecked as well. Shall I go for a double? Nah, I'm just going to go for singles. Oh, wow. This is going exceedingly good. I'm going to try and get the side of the Conqueror there. Whoa! Can you believe it? I guess I could have waited to be able to get that extra shell in. Oh, my lord. I love this tank. It was my first double barrel vehicle that I got a 3rd mark of excellence on as well. And I feel like that's because I really synergized with the 8 degrees of gun depression this vehicle has with the mobility as well. I'm not saying like, oh, it's so challenging to be able to play. That's why I'm thoroughly recommending all of you out there, don't sell this tank. That's what I've been trying to say. I guess that's the title of the video after all, is don't sell this tank, old sport. I'm not going to fire there, actually. I probably should go up to there where the Centurion 7-1 is. Don't sell this tank at least. Get the ST-II without selling this one. Of course, you're not going to sell this tank anyway while there's a discount, because if you were to sell this tank in the next month while there is a discount, you're literally just throwing away credits. If you sell a vehicle while it's discounted, you're actually going to get a respectively discounted amount of half the credits back. So as this tank is on a 30% discount, I believe, as it's top of the tree, that means you're actually only going to get 35% of a full price tank back if you were to sell it, whereas if you were to wait, you would get 50% of a full price tank back. So unless you absolutely, utterly have to have the garage slot now and you're willing to throw away hundreds of thousands of credits because you can't wait to sell it later on, then that's just absolutely baffling. But what am I even talking about selling this tank? The whole purpose of this video is to not sell the vehicle, right? Yeah, of course. Oh, I don't want to fire quite now. I probably should have fired there. It's a tough one because if you fire while you're reloading with a vehicle like this, it really does lower the damage per minute massively. So it's like always this decision, should you fire or should you not? And more often than not, you don't want to fire because you want to try and maximize your damage per minute with the vehicle. All right, well, this game's actually going pretty darn well. I'm actually very happy about this. Oh, no, he says that. Or should we double the 100's lower plate? Yeah, YouTube. I think you can see why I love this vehicle so much. That's a high roll. That's 920. Actually, how did I roll that high? That's an incredibly high roll. Just to let you know, the average damage of this tank should be 780. That guy, I mean, I almost feel like I should apologize to him. Should I send him some flowers? Send him an apology note for rolling so high there? Because that was actually disgusting. I should only roll for 780 because these guns have 390 alpha damage each. That's just absolutely awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. This is bad. Oh, this is really bad. Have I made a huge misplay here? I think the answer is yes. How am I going to handle this? I guess I have to drive in and hopefully he doesn't manage to get a couple of shots on me. Well, that helps as well. You know, it's always nice when the guy gets ammo racked who's giving you a hard time and then his head is lying 5 meters away from his tank down a slope. That's useful as well. All right, cool. Ally EBR has crashed. It is a tricky slope to get down, to be fair, and I usually end up screwing up that slope as well. Alright, so not a bad game here. 3,200 damage so far. No! Artilleries are going to get me unless I can kill this guy quickly. Guess I shouldn't stop. Oh, talk about not stopping. That's why you don't stop there. Luckily we bounced the WTF Panzer IV. Hopefully the artilleries aren't going to give me a big clap. I actually did a little bit of spotting there against that player. All right, I'm not going to go on the edge because I reckon the artillery will think I'm going there. Whereas if I go like this and I go this way, then hopefully I'll be able to bounce the WTF Panzer IV, get a bit of mobility up down the slope, and we should be okay. So this is where, again, it would be... Oh, so nice to get a double. That one didn't roll as high. That one was 700. But look, another 800 spotting at the end of the game. Let's see if we can find the artillery as well. Where are you, Conqueror, Gun Carrier, Piglet? Woo! I'll take that. 4,000 damage, 2,500 spotting. And do you know what's really juicy about this game? As it's top of the tree and it's my second win of the day, that means we're going to get a 5 times experience game plus a 5 times experience game. That makes 10, right? Yeah. Good. So we're going to get a huge amount of XP towards the ST2. 10,000 doesn't sound like the most, but remember, I'm playing without a premium account. I'll take 30,000 credits without a premium account. That's a really good result there. That's a first-class medal as well. Hard to get an ace on this vehicle while it's top of the tree. Okay, we got some new crew skills. Look at this. Well, clearly for my gunner, I'm not going to take concealment. I don't need firefighting as this is a free-to-play account and I use fire extinguishers. So we're going to take snapshot. That should really help. With regards to what I'm going to take on my driver, this could be a little bit more tricky. I'm veering towards off-road driving or clutch braking. I want to take a look at the traverse speed. Oh, the traverse speed on this tank's really quite poor. Off-road driving would be so nice though, because I do like to drive this thing all over the place. I'm going to go with clutch braking. I think the traverse speed is actually more important than the ground resistances, because remember, if I get onto hard terrain, off-road driving only helps on medium and soft terrain. It doesn't help on hard terrain at all. And then with regards to our loader, I mean, really, I should reset to get safe stowage. But for now, I will take concealment on this tank. And then here's what I do. When I want to figure out, obviously this is a free-to-play account, so I'm not going to spend gold. What I'm going to do is go for the credits, and then I'll wait till it gets to 100, because otherwise safe storage will never work. In fact, if you wanted to, you should probably wait till it's about like 2 skills and 50%, because then you're not getting a situation where you don't have repairs on the vehicle, which could prove very, very bad. So by waiting until I have enough to be able to reset for credits, that should really help. This vehicle as well, I would thoroughly recommend you get a premium commander, because the safe storage would be, it's not the safe storage, sorry. The commander is the radio operator, which puts a lot of pressure on them, so situational awareness and recon are almost mandatory. So that's why I have a premium commander there. All right, so why not have another round? And after that, I'm only 28,000 away from being able to get the ST2. And there you go. This is a great bait gun. Let me just explain this situation. The 100mm on this vehicle isn't too bad. This costs 48,000 experience. You'd be an absolute raving loon to want to get this on the vehicle. It's a complete bait. Look at it compared to the upgraded gun. Worse pen, worse loading time, worse shell prep time as well, which is absolutely horrific. Worse accuracy, worse aim time. I would go as far as to say that the stock gun is actually probably better than this gun. You've got a little bit less pen, I guess, but better gold pen. You've got the better gun reload, less alpha, but you've got the better aim time, better accuracy, and you've also got a lower shell salvo time and a lower time for the preparation between the shots. This gun is fool's gold. Don't get stuck with it. The only person who's going to get the gold is probably wargaming, when you convert off your gold for your free experience and then you dump it on this vehicle and then you find that the vehicle is, yeah, probably worse than if you just played it stock. Alright, so you know what? Let's have a long video. We had a couple of quite quick games. We're going to have a triple helping, and this is where we have those wonderful matchups where there's no arty and we get to rub our hands in glee at dealing with all the tier 8 and tier 9 tanks. Although, who thinks that now that QuickyBaby doesn't have to deal with the self-propelled guns and all of the tier 10 vehicles, that I'm actually going to get overconfident and maybe get myself killed? Yeah, it's the shots that you don't see coming that hit the hardest, and that's probably going to be this case. I think I'm going to probably be a little bit overconfident, but now that I've said it, hopefully I've wormed it into my mental that we're actually still going to be pretty safe. Alright, so IS-3-II. 2 decent games and 2 bad matchups. Now let's try and enjoy this very good matchup. So I'm actually going to start to reload high explosive rounds at the start of the game, and maybe it will become quite obvious. Is that T-30 using the 120mm gun? He must be. It's quite a stubby gun to be using on that vehicle. I'll try and remember that. And unfortunately for us, our Leopard prototype hasn't even connected in. Word of advice, if you're playing Clan Wars or you're playing tank companies or anything, would thoroughly recommend to destroy all the buildings inside the cap circle, because they're an absolute pain in the nuts if the enemies manage to get in there and proceed to cap. I didn't destroy any here because I got to try and get into position as quickly as I can. Alrighty then, so ladies and gents, boys and girls, I'm going to show you that you can actually give yourself a little bit of a speed boost with the double barrels like this. Oh, look at that, up to 40 kilometers an hour for a little while, and hopefully we're still going to take 20 seconds to be able to get into position, so all that we've done is wasted probably a couple thousand credits. Is that worth it? Maybe the half a second will allow us to get the extra damage in. You could argue, well, why aren't you loaded to be able to do a shell prep time? It's a little bit awkward to be able to go up this slope, I guess, because you don't have much time for that. If you're able to go up Malinovka, the hill on Malinovka, for example, that could prove absolutely awesome, however. I just looked at my other monitor thinking, like, I really hope I've been recording this. Otherwise, I've done that quite a few times, by the way, where I'm recording these live videos and I look at the other monitor and I'll be 20 minutes into a video and I'll be like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. Okay, whoa, hello, what's up? Did he spot me? He did. That's so unfortunate. Oh, somebody fired at me from over there. That's not good. That's not good. There's definitely somebody firing at me from over there. Probably like a G-saw or something, I think. Alright, this isn't looking too pretty right now. Unfortunately for us, there are tanks up there, and of course, I have really bad view range, so I'm never going to be able to spot them. But luckily, I can probably use this hold down position for this IS-3-II. Come on, Progetto, come peek. Oh, no. Okay. Do you realize how this tank works? Uh-oh, talk about realizing how this tank works. This is rather unfortunate. That's a big boy tank. Hey, where are all the artillery? I need the artillery to help deal with the T-30. Oh my god, my team feels like they are melting, I think is what I'm trying to say. We need our friends to fall back. If that T-30 gets above us, we're going to be in a world of hurt. Get your fat tracks out the way, you plonker. I'll have to fire single instead. What's up, Progetto? I know you don't like me. Why would you just let me have it? That's so weird. That Progetto's clearly very new. He probably doesn't know what an IS-3-II is. He's probably looking at the double barrel and thinking about Command and Conquer. Mammoth tank reporting. Okay. I don't want to go around the corner too quickly because I want to reload. And snap. Oh, I didn't damage him. Can you believe it? Come on, Yag Tiger, what are you playing at? And he fires heat through. Oh, he fired right through my turret ring. Or my turret front, I should say. I can't believe that M103 got away with that. That could have very easily been a damaging shot into the player. That's very unfortunate. Those hit points are going to be costly, both the ones that I lost and also the ones that I failed to gain from the M103. Nevertheless, I feel like I can just chill here. I feel like I can just relax a little bit. I want them to push. Honestly, pushing on this map is brutal. If you push, you get yourself isolated. Now, if you can all push together, sure. All pushing together will still be a very strong move. But getting yourself isolated on this map is a very easy thing to do. Oh, we're so close to getting him. Yak Tiger, I just need you to fall back. But I'm not going to tell him to fall back. It's kind of a bit of a silly thing to say, I feel. Talk about silly things. My team seems to be actually throwing away most of their tanks. I'm not really being too aggressive right now. I feel like I should be a little bit more aggressive. Probably deal with them all, lower their hit points while we still have teammates around, alive. But also, I feel like the enemy might make silly plays. Oh, that was so close. If only this Yag Tiger just wasn't there. Well, to be fair, he actually got a kill on him, so... You know what, I'm going to fire. I'm just going to lock his tracks down. Maybe somebody else can lock his tracks down. And I'll start firing HE if they do. Fire HE, boys! Hello? Anyone? Hello, will you shoot his tracks, please? Wow, they're doing it! Look! They're actually doing it! Oh! Oh! Thank you! Thank you! They're learning YouTube! They did it! Almost as if we load the HE and lock their tracks down that they're going to be able to handle it. Thank you, boys. Oh, that's a feels-good moment right there. That M103, he thought that the 2 key... excuse me, was the most powerful key in the game. But I just showed him a clever use of our 3 key, locking him down in place, ended up wrecking him. Alright, here we go. Should we try and get this guy? Oh no, that was so stupid of me. I guess I out-traded him though. That was really stupid. After a nice play by me against the M103, I shouldn't have lost those hit points to the Yag Tiger. But goodness gracious, he did not like the double barrel hit that we gave him, right? But losing those hit points is no joke. That means that now I'm in a very vulnerable position where I could get high rolled by something like the T30. So I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that play. I've got to be careful here though as well. I think this would be a pretty... How did I get spotted there? Must be a scorpion at the back, right, in the bushes. That's not good. Okay, don't worry, Borask. I got you. I got you, my friend. That's interesting. I've tried to rebound my mouse so that I can also do a double shot with my mouse. And for some reason, the button doesn't actually fully work. So maybe I've got like a double keybind right now. I'll have to fix that. That's a bit of a bug. So here's a huge top tip for all of you new players who are going to be getting double-barrel tanks this month as well. Rebind the key binding. This is the most important thing you'll ever do on your double-barrel tanks. Change the fire a salvo key from your left mouse button to something which is not what you use to fire a single shot. It is so unbelievably important to do, because it will allow you to be able to stop preparing a shell and to quickly fire a snapshot without having issues. Alright, let's have a go here. I've had enough of this. Ow. Should we try and sneak up on this Basante? Oh, that's not good. Oofsa! Oofsa very much. Thank you. Do enjoy killing the new Italian auto-reloading heavy tank as much as I enjoy playing it. Somebody tried to double. Looks like they missed. Which is the best way to go here? I guess it's best to just go hold down. I should be able to take a hit from an ISU. Talking about our hit from an ISU, he hit me for 800. That wasn't very nice. Is he behind this bush? Nearly. Oh, this is rather... makes me rather nervous. Anyone else feeling nervous when you're driving into 2 Tier 8 premium tank destroyers? Oh no! Oh please, no! Please! Where shall I go? I reckon the ISU 152K will be aiming this way, so I'm going to go the other way. Oh, he's so low now, though. Maybe this was a misplay. This is where this vehicle just feels so lovely and so dynamic. Do you know what? This video today completely cemented my opinion that this tank is just so much better than the ST-II. Oof! Should we go try and get a ram kill at the end of the video? Ah, not to be. Anyway, not too shabby. I'll take another 4,000 damage, and it's nice to finish this triple helping of gameplay with a double. Free to play! Not a single premium round used, not a single premium consumable used. I do love this account. It does make me feel very clean and very good. And I also find that when I go back onto my main account and I play with every single advantage, we do even better. So commiserations to the Scorpion on the enemy team. 5,400 damage was decent. That M103... decent enough play. I don't think they expected the 3 key to be able to lock them down, and this was just a very solid run of games. 3,400 average damage, 2,000 average assistance, and 3 wins on the trot, and it doesn't even really surprise me that much. I can tell you, after showcasing the entirety of the double barrel tech tree yesterday during the tech tree showcase, that this tank is the better tank tier for tier. Now, is it actually the better tank if the two were to go head-to-head in combat? No, I'd say the ST-II would be the better vehicle. It does have the thicker armor, it's still got 8 degrees of gun depression, and the gun with 440 alpha damage is better than this one. However, this is one of the biggest issues with when you step up from Tier 9 to Tier 10, that all of the other vehicles get better, right? And when you go from Tier 9 to Tier 10, some of the vehicles get a lot better, a huge amount better. Like the 60 TP, for example. The Tier 9, the 50 TP, it's not bad, but the Tier 10, oh my god, it's amazing. One of my favorite vehicles in the game, and probably my favorite tech tree Tier 10 heavy tank. This vehicle is great at Tier 9. Its gun feels nice, its DPM doesn't feel bad. To be able to land in those 800 alpha damage double barrel bombs, to have the okay gun handling, not the best accuracy, and when you double stack it with the vertical stabilizer and the rotation mechanism, this tank just feels even more better like that. It doesn't get that much better when you jump up to the ST-II, however, and so that means this thing is better tier for tier, and that's why I would thoroughly recommend that nobody sells this vehicle even after the discount ends in a month from now. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this triple helping of double barrel gameplay. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. If you like these kind of live replays because you feel that the commentary is better and that you can see how I perceive the situation, you want to see more, yeah, just let me know in the comments down below as well. If you hated the video, however, make sure you do give it a thumbs down, as I do really appreciate the feedback. And yeah, let me know what you think about the IS-3-II and all of the double-barreled tech tree tanks now that they are top of the tree. Are you planning to be able to get your hands on them, or have you got absolutely no interest? As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.